Welcome to the Hump Day Hangout podcast by Semantic Mastery, where we answer your local SEO questions every week at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm Adam Moody, and my partner at Semantic Mastery, Bradley Benner, will be sharing his decades of expertise based on not only helping others, but running his own agencies and businesses in the space. If you'd like to join us live on YouTube each week, just go to www.semanticmastery.com/HDHO at 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. If you'd like to ask a question ahead of time, go to the same link, www.semanticmastery.com/HDHO at any time and submit it there. Don't forget, you can get the Semantic Mastery Local SEO Toolkit for free at the same URL. Okay, let's get going with this episode. All right, welcome everybody to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode number 547. Today is, as I check the calendar, the 21st of May, 2025. And as always, we're going to get into answering your local SEO questions as we have for the last 10 and a half years.
10 and a half years.
Yeah, 10 and a half years. I was like, wait, 11? No, we just had 10 and a half. And we got a special guest today, too. We're going to be talking to Mike Martin. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, want to go around, say hello to everybody, and then we got a couple quick announcements, and then we'll do it. So, Chris, how you doing today?
Doing good. Had a pretty good workout today and also a pretty good work session. And now I have a bit of a storm brewing, so gonna keep it short here.
Fair enough. All right, Bradley, how about you? How are things going?
Busy as all hell as normal, but good, all good things. So been crazy busy with the move as well. Like moving from my new house is, it's a bit of a challenge, but I'm making progress. I hope another week or so, and then I should be fully moved in by this time next week, maybe. But anyway, things are good, and I'm excited because we got Mike Martin on, man. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, last but not least, Mike, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. We've just I've just come off a webinar, believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it. I definitely believe it.
Back. Yeah.
Always on webinars. So
yes, sir.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong. You know, when it's one of them days where it's just like that one and then that one and then that one, and it's like, wow, how many problems could go wrong all at once?
Well, and the good news is, Mike, we're hosting this one, so you can just sit back and relax now,
Yeah, we'll see. We've had our fair share of issues before.
For sure.
Happens to us all.
So how you doing, Mike? I'm gonna let Adam kind of finish with the introductions and everything, man. But we're glad to have you on. It's been a while. It's been too long since the last time you and I have chatted. So I'm glad that you came on for this.
I think the last time we spoke was on my podcast, was it?
Yeah, and that was probably over a year ago now, right?
More than likely, yeah.
So. I think so.
Mate, we've been working on something for the last 5-6 years, and it literally tonight was the big launch type. Not big launch because it was just a closed group of people. We gave them 6 months free access. So we've been working. You've used Magic Page plugin, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we found for years is Magic Page plugin added onto a WordPress website is it's brilliant. You can do all sorts of affiliate sites, normal sites, and everything else. But what we've been trying to do for years is figure out a way that in our customer avatar, I called him Mr. Bricklayer. How Mr. Bricklayer could get the same results you can get using Magic Page plugin himself. And all he needs is a one-page website to be able to go and do it. And we finally got it working. And then tonight, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. But it's live.
Well, hey, it's progress, man. So, Adam, you have anything left you want to finish up before we get into Mike wants to share?
Oh, as always, I want to tell people about Local Mastery. If you guys haven't checked out the new paid newsletter that is based upon the brain of Bradley Benner, and instead of sitting down and one-on-one, you're going to be able to get access to that via newsletter. We're trying to make something that as a number we were aiming for was under 30 minutes, but like literally 27 minutes, you could sit down and absorb what Bradley's been testing, case study results, things that he's noticing in the SEO world, whatever's going on that he's been talking about and dealing with, and you can get that delivered direct to your inbox. And that is just $29 a month, and you get one every single week. So if you want to check that out, go to localmastery.semanticmastery.com. And if you do want the personal access and you want to look at Bradley's beautiful face, then you should join the mastermind. And you can always do that at mastermind.semanticmastery.com.
Yeah,
and if you want to look at me and Chris, you just got to come to Hump Day Hangouts. So
we should have pitched the mastermind that way long ago.
Yeah, that was a good old pitch, that wasn't it? like he was reading and he's read it like 500 times before, and then he's like, got it right.
It's just like, I'm gonna throw a curveball today. Like SEO, what's that? I don't know, but come check out Bradley's beautiful face. So, oh man. All right, we got that out of the way. I got nothing else. I'm gonna put some links on the page. Other than that, though, Bradley and Mike, I'll let you guys take it from here.
Right on. Well, Mike, yeah, man, glad to have you on again. It's like I said, I know we're both very busy with running our various businesses, and so it's hard for us to connect very often, but certainly honored to have you on as always, man. Always a pleasure chatting with you. So I know you got some pretty interesting things that you've been cooking up lately that you kind of alluded to a moment ago. So tell us, what can you reveal about it to us right now?
I can walk you through the whole process if you want.
Sure.
I can
It,
give you a, because it's
yeah.
just gone live tonight. So we've done some. So I'm assuming a lot of your audience have local businesses, do they?
Yes. Almost all local SEO is what we teach. Yeah.
Local SEO, okay. And do you have many that struggle with the implementation, or is that completely not a
Oh
problem at
yeah.
all?
And it's our audience are local SEOs that, people that want to become local SEO professionals or that are doing local SEO or run agencies, have clients, that kind of stuff. So it's a kind of a broad spectrum, but there's also people that will watch our training and join some of our programs that also are just business owners that are trying to learn how to do it themselves. Our audience is really the SEO professional, but there are a number of business owners that come to us for local SEO training and such. So yeah, I'm sure whatever you've got would be relevant because even some SEOs or aspiring SEOs
Yep.
struggle to implement. You know what I mean? So anything that we can do to make it easier on them is going to be valuable to them as well as business owners.
Yeah, because 90% of my business, of my clients are business owners.
Okay.
Probably 90% now. It used to be a hell of a lot more of SEO agencies and people like that. So I mean, basically, what this started from me getting really pissed off with like Google AdWords and things like that. So you know about obviously the massive scam that Google AdWords has got going on.
Yeah.
So obviously every single person, everything's on an auction basis, yeah. Right, so it's on an auction basis, which psychologically has been proven that if you bidding, everybody overbids because they feel like they own something. But Google's biggest scam that 95% of people don't know about, right, is have you ever set up a Google business profile and they say, "Is $400 worth of free advertising?" Or is $1,000 worth of free advertising? Or if you've got a charity, is $15,000 worth of free advertising? Have you seen that
Yeah.
coming from
Yeah.
Google, left, right, and center, all the time, right? And I don't know why nobody's ever sued them and they've never got in trouble for it. Because the thing that really winds me up about what they've done there is you're a real business owner, right? So let's say you do trees, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
The
So
industry
so
that I work in, yes.
so
Yeah.
let's say you was using paid ads for trees, right? And you're a real business. You've been running around for years. Nobody's giving you free anything anymore. And you're in Google and you're paying, let's say, $15 a click, right? Into Google AdWords. Google AdWords are running around giving every single startup business between $300 and $15,000, right, to go and spend. Well, if you get given money for free, you don't care if it's profitable. So what they're doing is they're bidding against you, the business owner who's got real money, right? You're putting in real money and they're bidding against you with fake money that's been created by Google, that's been given to them. So Google are scamming all these
It's
businesses
funny.
and
I
pushing.
never thought of it that way, but you're
Yeah,
right.
it's terrible
Yeah.
what they're doing, mate. It's really, really bad. And it kind of wound me up to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm never using it again. I'm never thinking again. But I know local businesses are stuck with this, right? And I know local businesses, they're either going to be stuck with that, or you're paying an SEO expert 2 or 3 grand a month to implement something like Magic Page plugin for your business. So because of that, about 7 years ago, I turned around and says to my business partner, look, I love Magic Page plugin. It's absolutely brilliant. It's industry leading for what it does. It does all this technical crazy stuff, and all you super nerds love it. But what I want to be able to do is create something that does what Magic Page plugin does. But let's picture a bricklayer. He's left school. He's started as a bricklayer. He's in his 40s now. He's been just laying bricks all his life. He's got a computer he logs on to go watch webinars to figure out how to promote his business maybe a little bit. And he's probably got a Facebook account where he chats to people and stuff like that. And I basically said to him, I want to be able to create something that Mr. Bricklayer, right, who doesn't know nothing about computers, can get on there and he can set this up himself in less than 15 minutes and he can get the same results that he would getting an SEO expert to do it for him. And so about 5 years ago, he come to me with the first version. If you've got developers working for you as well, aren't you? And they
Sometimes,
come
yeah.
to you with the first version, and I'm like, it's they can make writing a letter complicated with a pen, can't they? They can make everything complex, and that's kind of what happened. And then about a year later, he came to me again, and he's like, And I was like, it's wrong. It's like, it's too complex. You need to get rid of this and this and this and this. And we went for about 500 different things that I wanted him to get rid of. And then about 4 weeks ago, he comes back to me and he says, right, can we sit down? So the rule we set with him was I need to be able to go onto it and I need to be able to create a website from scratch, not from scratch. I need to be able to get a one-page website. So 99% of businesses have all got websites now. So there's no point selling them a website. It's like they need to have a one-page website and I need to be able to build the website from start to finish, 90, 100-page website in like 10 to 15 minutes with all the content written, with all the internal linking done, with all the website structure perfect, absolutely everything, and then be able to display the homepage or the actual pages we've got with the click to call and all this stuff. And is that so is at first we thought it was impossible. And he come to me about 4 weeks ago and I logged in and he said, right, there's no training videos, you're not allowed. So I went through, boom, 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 and it worked. We got it there, and it was like, and I was like, holy shit. So then I got one of the girls out the office, and I says to her, right, you're coming on a meeting with me and Martin, and obviously she's nervous because she's like, I'm going on with the two owners of the company. It's like, what? Why have I been called into this meeting? And we get into this meeting, and I said to her, right, here's a coupon code. What I want you to be able to do is go in and build a web page. Sorry, get this one page website where we've got which we've got on Cloudflare. So the only complex part at the minute, which is going to be fixed, is they have to add a C name, right? That's the most complex part of it, right? And I said to her, right, I want you to come in. She knows how to add a C name. So she did the C name. She went through, she added the website, and within about 10 minutes, she had a 95-page website for 3 different services on a website, all completely built, done and dusted. And then she just overlaid the homepage onto every single one of them. We click site colon. We submit to Search Console, and all the pages are indexing like crazy. And it's just like it's the first time that I've been excited in since the release of Magic Page plugin and
Wow.
probably Lead Simplify. I mean, have you got a website? Have you got a website that you have got where you'd want to add additional pages to it? It's a one-page site, but it probably needs to be on Cloudflare because we have to have added C name in it. Update what we're going, and I can just run through and show you the whole process. And if your guys want it, I've just done it for a closed group tonight and give them 6 months access for free. So there's no charge. They can literally use it for 6 months. If it works and generates loads of money, then they renew after 6 months. They pay for 1 month and they get 11 months free every year. And if it doesn't work, then they just cancel after 5.5 months, and it's stuck in 5 minutes.
Hell yeah. Show it to us, man. We're
You
open to
want
it. We got chat people in chat already asking, what is he talking about? And so I don't know. We're gonna find out. So Aaron, I don't
they
know.
probably don't understand my English accent, and they're like, no, what is he actually talking about? I tell you what, then, have you got if I drop have you got a web page that we can do this on a web, let's say either one page website or but you have to have the domain name in Cloudflare. I'm assuming all your domains are in Cloudflare.
Yeah. Adam, are you on still? Do you want to do a local business type of a site or?
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, just any one page website, and what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll do it, and it might take us about 15 minutes because I'll talk you through how to do it quickly. But this is designed specifically for business owners to be able to do it themselves, so they can do it themselves, set it up, edit the content, play around with it, and then afterwards, once we've set it up and done it for you, you can just go in and watch the 2 training videos that's in there. It literally there's about 20 minute videos. That's
All
it.
right. Let me get you does it have to be a one-page website or does it?
That can be any website you want, any
Okay.
website you've got that you've got on the C name's going to be local. So it's going to be on local. The reason I'll tell you that is you're probably going to want to share your screen, but as long as there's nothing on the local dot
Yeah,
url.com.
we'll go with this. Stand by. Put this in chat. So you might,
No, go
that's
on.
the website you are.
You do it. You share your
Oh,
screen.
you
And
want me to share the
yeah,
screen
man,
and show?
just show you
Okay.
how easy it is, because then I can jump into the chat now. Can I just respond to you? I can't I?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Right, here you
All
go.
right.
I'll give
This
you.
isn't the chat is only for us that are on the call. That's like just 4 of us. So
Got you. Okay. Well, so there, I've actually implemented a coupon code, which will keep that. Just let me go and
okay.
check that coupon code keeps it free forever for you.
All right,
You
let's
want to
do
be like
this.
the cheeky bastard? No, it does. It keeps it free forever.
Chat. Here we go. Okay. So I need to get logged in or registered. Is that what you're asking?
Yep. Just pop your
Right.
details in, put the business name in, and I'll take you through the process, mate. 10 minutes, we'll have you a 60-page website minimum done. Right, scroll down, make sure it's implemented. Right, it's been implemented. So if you click complete, that means it's free forever.
Continue.
Yep. And it should just ask you one more thing, and then yep, complete order. Right, you should get an email off us now to set your password up.
Right. Stand by.
At least if something goes wrong, I can blame you now on this one because
Yeah. Nope, it's not. That's just the receipt, so that's not the actual password
no,
yet.
no, you should have got you should get a couple of invoices, a couple of emails
There
off
we
us.
go. Here we go. I got one now.
You're doing it in a separate page, yeah?
Yeah. Second. We still have got to try to keep at least 20 minutes available for us to answer questions that were pre-posted for today, because that's what this is typically is, a question and answer
How long are you going to be on here for?
for an hour. So we got 45 more minutes.
All right, this will be done in 15 minutes.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me get this password created. Sorry, guys. I just don't want to reset all this stuff later. So, all right, here we go. Okay.
Okay, you're in. Okay, go to my site. So ignore the training videos. Go to my site.
Put that in business info.
Business name, yeah. Whatever the business name is that we're doing. Okay. Contact.
I'll stand by.
Have we lost you again here?
No, I'm here. I paused the screen briefly.
Oh, got you. Okay. Copy and paste the URL in. This bit's got to be right, so it's always a good idea to copy and paste it in, and then you see what it does down the bottom is give you that local dot felling.pro, yeah? Click continue.
Yeah, although I'm sure I don't have that already used. I don't think I do, but just double check. No, we're good. Okay. All right, so we're good. Hit continue.
Yep. Okay,
Business
pop your
service.
central location. Two
products.
primary services.
Tree removal. And tree trimming. Continue. All right. Finish.
Finish. Right, so this now is literally going, it's going to build a local dot whatever the URL was .com. It's going to build two service pages with a list of locations on with all of your internal linking structures, and it's then going to go and build a SEO optimized web page for every single one of the locations in the target radius that we've just picked. And we've got a 4-mile radius. So right, so this is the most complex bit you got to do at the top here. You need to go to Cloudflare.
Go to CNAME. We're going to put local.
And I
There's
just
the
copy that
value
site
right
stuff
there.
local.
Got it. Add record, CNAME, local value. Leave proxy on or off?
Off. You got proxy off. Save.
It's done. Okay.
Right, so you should be able to click retry validation if it's picked it up yet. It hasn't yet. We give it probably another 30. So what we can do now though, whilst you're looking at this, is we can kind of preview the pages. So you see where the preview button is a bit further lower down. Click on that. So that's going to preview the home page of the site. So if you scroll down, you'll see it's just content on the home page for now. And I'll show you how to add the map and everything. Click on the tree removal top right. Okay, so it's done Stafford, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that is. Aqua Harbour, Ramouth, and somewhere else. It's done that for tree trimming and tree removal. Click on one of those. And then you've got a page of content in there with your map and everything set up for this. So we all your meta titles, descriptions, everything else are done. So go back to where we were a minute ago, back to the actual web page itself. You can now add, so you see where it says custom locations, the red button under the map.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Click it.
Yep. And then if you
Okay.
go, you can go into here now. If you click on add my location, so you can now zoom in on the map and actually add any additional locations you want inside of this area. So if there's any areas missing that you think, oh yeah, I like there, or there's got money, or there's got, you can add up to 5 additional locations straight out of the gate. It's quite a sparse area you've picked, isn't it?
No, not really. Brooke.
And right, so then after that, scroll down,
Okay.
and you can click save and back, or you can hit the drop down arrow on the green button and click save another.
Just save it back for now. Okay, so we got one additional one added.
Yep, so you can literally, and if you click save and add new, you can just keep adding, and that'll add a new page with content for your service and your location. So if we go back to my site,
Okay.
go back, and then, oh, it's disappeared now, isn't it, at the top? So we can click publish.
Oh, the DNS propagated, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
now
now we
click,
can go look at Felling
well,
or
wait there.
logo.felling.pro.
Give me a sec. Let's
Okay.
go to click save radius, because it looks like it's still got some outstanding underneath on the right. Yeah, there you go. Scroll down
Okay.
and then click publish again. And if you scroll down now, it should, that's, so the live site should be working now. It might be propagating the SSL. It's probably still propagating
Yeah,
the
that's what it's
SSL
saying.
at the minute now. Once the SSL is propagated, all these pages are done and in place and everything's there for you. If you go back to the software that we were just on, if you select the edit home page, you see there where it says show overlay.
Yes.
You can switch that on and show the homepage of your website in every single one of these locations now
Got it.
automatically. You can edit your content, but let's go to the bottom of the homepage content that we were just on a minute ago, and then hit space at the bottom so you've got a new line, and then you see where it says shortcodes on the left. Sorry, yep. Hit the drop down, go to service links, and just hit the top one of them. Then hit return, and then go and hit another shortcode again, and grab the map. And just put the map in place. So you could actually change that map to the one that says tree services, and it'll pull all the tree service people in that location, or your business if you've got a Google business profile. But if you click save now and then publish that again, you might have to preview because the SSL can sometimes take 10 minutes to, and scroll down, you'll see what that's done. That's kind of added your service locations and is that your GMB?
No.
Oh, it's added someone else's. So we'd probably use a different map code for that with maybe tree services location. But this just builds out like Magic Page plugin. You can go in now and edit the content, use all the shortcodes, do all the other stuff you want, but it's designed to be added to an existing business website. And it's that quick and easy.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot easier than setting up Magic Page plugin. I mean, I've done that a number of times myself, and this is definitely a lot more user friendly, so to speak. You know what I mean?
This works for any website as well. So it doesn't matter if you've got a HTML website, if you've got WordPress, if you've got Wix, if you've
Yeah,
got a
because it's just the
one-page
overlay, right? As
landing
long as you
page.
have DNS access, and then you just overlay whatever page builder you're using, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you don't need the overlay. I keep these pages up. They do okay. You can add images and all that into it. You can make it look like a real website. It's just it doesn't automatically add all the images and stuff like that. But you can get any image from the home page of your website.
Yeah.
Right click and copy the URL, paste it into the content. It'll automatically show the image.
That's very cool, man. This is definitely a great way to get these pages built out. And I play with it myself now that I've got access to it. So
If your guys want to get free access, mate, I can give you a link which wait there, a special
Sure.
link that's yours, and that way, if they want to play with it, they want to test it, they want to ask any questions, they can ask my support team. I'll pop it in the chat for you.
okay.
there's an actual link there that you can share with your guys, and that will take them through to a page that explains what it is. 6 months free access. It's going to be up for a couple of days, probably not long, because once we hit about 3 or 4,000 people, I'm gonna get rid of the 6 months free, obviously,
Okay.
because
Sure.
otherwise I'm going to be paying for hundreds of thousands of websites all over the internet for the next 6 months, and it'll probably bankrupt me.
So guys, I'm going to put this in chat, YouTube chat, and then I'm going to put it up on screen. Just give me 1 second. And then,
Oh, Bradley, I've
guys,
got the link. I can post that.
yeah, I'm
I
going to
have
put it
one.
up on screen too, but
Ah.
just so that I can show it so everybody can go grab it from the video that's not on chat. So let me resume the screen share. Can you guys see that? That's the URL, pages.3local.com/Brad. That's awesome, Mike.
Go
I will
back
play with it as well, but go
2 seconds. Let me show you one last thing. So if somebody
Sure.
wants to increase the radius, they can click the.
Shit, I got to go back in.
You're not going to be able to increase it on this one that I've just give you because it's at the maximum that it's at. But all right, it's app.3local.com.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm back in here. Okay.
Right, you see that plus button there next to the 4?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says underneath it, add 1 mile for 4 more locations and 5 more customers. You can just click plus and minus to increase or reduce your miles. And they can also click plus more services below in the green button. And that'll automatically let them add 3, 4, 5, 6 services for each individual area, and it'll create the content and all the internal linking. And then if you go quickly to the preview page one more time, and then click on any of the services like tree removal, click on one of the pages. If you look at the city short code that sits in, oh, yours is only short. It only links to certain ones, so it randomizes what it links to. If you was in a more populated area with like 10 or 12 or 15 different locations, it'll only link to like 2 or 3 for every page.
Okay.
It's designed specifically for the thing. Yeah, that's what we designed it for. We're getting some cool results, and obviously, if you guys want 6 months free, it's there. Just
But
tell
there
them
you go.
if it
That's
doesn't
awesome.
work for any reason, let us know the reason, and we'll fix it. But in addition to that, obviously, something cancel before the 6 months, so they will get charged for 1 month.
Okay. Well, that's an awesome deal. Thank you for sharing that with us on our group and for our members as well, for our audience to be able to get free access to it, guys. So definitely check it out, guys, and play with it. And reach out to Mike if you have any problems or issues with it. I'll play with it myself too, and maybe I'll do an update next week. So that's awesome, man. What else you got cooking? Anything else?
Not really, mate. I've been doing a lot with the books, Anna. So we've just released that. It's called the Safe Startup System, and it's
Okay.
a new book. And I've been doing a lot of coaching and helping a lot of local businesses with that, because your guys will understand this. What you'll probably recognize this as well. What you find a lot of SEOs do, because they've got this superpower where starting a business is so easy. They start business number 1, and then they find a marketing channel to go to it. And then they start business number 2, and they find a marketing channel. And they start business number 3, and they find a marketing channel. And they end up so busy with all these different crazy things. You don't do it because you stick to the trees, but they end up so busy and so in a kerfuffle, let's call it. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
can't thingy. So I basically wrote a whole book around the whole process. And it's about finding that core offer that you do, and then finding lots of different lead magnets or lots of different yellow brick roads that lead into that one core offer, and building a massive. Because what I found is most SEOs struggle to get past about 20 to 25 grand a month. And I think the reason they struggle to get past it is because they have so many fingers in so many pies. And
Yeah.
it's really easy to have one pie with loads of
Right.
different routes running into
100%
it.
agree with that, by the way. So
And
you know.
yeah, do 100 grand. You can do 100 grand a month super easy if you do it like that. So that's kind of what
Yeah.
else I've been working on. I've been doing a lot of thingy. So I've not done as much SEO, even though we've just released the SEO local SEO playbook 2025. You read it?
No, I'm not.
No, the guy called James Dooley and Casra Dash wrote it between us, the three of us. It's a good book. It's all right, but
Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, that's
Um,
great. Well, no, I understand, and I think I agree. I think I tell all of our audience and our members all the time that niche down one industry, and then develop some core offers for that particular industry, and then you scale the shit out of that, and it makes it so much easier because once you've dialed in the deliverable, right, the services that you provide, you scale it through duplication. You just change the company name and the locations that they're targeting, and it's all the same. Like with tree services, I mean, we have to customize projects slightly for, because some tree guys do certain things that other tree guys don't. but the core offer is the same every single time.
Yep.
And so because of that, all I have to do to scale is just expand by geography and just get new clients in new areas. But it's always the same deliverables. So it makes it so much easier. Not only that, but it's not only easy to fulfill the deliverables, but it's also easier to make the sale because your marketing gets better dialed in for that particular industry, for the particular offers that you're promoting. So I 100% agree with you. I've been preaching that for years.
Well, that's
Unfortunately, a lot of the people that still come into the industry, they feel that if they niche down, they are limiting their total addressable market instead of really expanding their their ability to generate, to land clients, to fetch higher prices, everything else. And so I totally
well,
agree with what you're saying, man.
one of the things we're teaching people to do at the minute is, so what you do is you get your core offer, like you just said, your core offer remains the same. It never changes,
That's
right?
right.
And then instead, what changes is your target customer. Your customer avatar changes. So let's say, let's say we'll use golf as an example. Let's use a fitness program as an example. Let's say you're selling a super cool fitness program, right? And it's the same fitness program that you sell to absolutely everybody, right? What you could potentially do is I could market that to plus 55-year-old golfers whose swing, and they're losing distance on the swing, and then when they come in, it's the same high protein, cut out sugars and inflammatory products and various other things, and a certain amount of things about building muscle because you lose muscle after the age of 40. But then I could also sell that exact same training program, and I could target specific types of students. I could target runners.
Yeah.
And what it is you market it, the way you sell it changes based on your customer avatar, but the actual thing you sell stays the same. And that's kind of what we've been getting a lot of our customers doing, because I found that most of my students were struggling to get between past 20 to 25 grand. And the people that I've taken on coaching now that have been doing exactly what I've been saying, I've gone from like that 20 grand a month right the way up to 120, 140, 190 grand a month, dead quick. Because they're like, holy fucking shit, yeah, I've got the same thing. It's all there. Everything's already set up. Just choose one, change your customer avatar, and sell them into the exact same thing from a different
Sure.
angle. And all of a sudden, your customer base increases humongously. And that's kind of one of
That's
the other
very
things we've
cool,
been
man.
working on.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing all that, Mike, and giving our audience an offer to check it out for free and for 6 months and all of that. And certainly, I'm sure a few will take you up on it. And you're welcome to stay and hang out if you want to stay for the rest of the Q&A. If you're not, because I know you've been on webinars all day or whatever, you're free to leave as well.
About to say it's
But
also like 9:30 for Mike, so
yeah.
Mate,
So
I'm always working.
we're going to jump into questions now to answer the pre-posted questions that we have. We got about 28 minutes left, which should be just enough time because we don't have a lot of questions this time, guys. So, which was actually fortunate, it just worked out.
awesome. Well,
So-
thanks again, Mike. Just wanted to say a personal thank you real quick before we hop over.
Cheers, Adam.
Right on, fellas. All right, I'm going to grab the screen and jump into questions. Like I said, you're free to stay if you want, or you can help out, Mike. All right, guys, we're going to start with Huzaifa. He says, do you enable provider matching instantly campaign option settings? So Huzaifa was asking about in the cold email outreach system that we use for the directory outreach process. We're using instantly for cold emailing, and provider matching is an option where if you have a number of sending domains integrated with instantly from different providers. So for example, if you're integrating workspace domains, those are going to be Google Gmail on Google provider or email services. If you integrate Outlook or Microsoft 365 paid accounts, then that's going to be Microsoft and Outlook type email servers, right? So it's provider matching based upon the email service email providers that you're using. And the idea is if you are sending to an Outlook address, like the recipient, the contact is an Outlook.com email address, then if you send from an Outlook sending email, it's going to likely inbox better, right? It's got higher deliverability rate. So that's the whole provider matching option. I don't use it because all I use are Google Workspace accounts. That's it, nothing else. And so I'm not going to turn on provider matching because I don't have any other email accounts integrated with Instantly. So all I use is Workspace accounts. So it's worth testing, Huzaifa, if you want to go through the process of integrating other types of accounts and, getting them set up the email accounts and then integrating them with Instantly. It's worth testing. I've not done it because all I've ever used is Workspace accounts. I get plenty of responses back from just the Workspace accounts. So, but it's definitely worth testing. So Alex, next question, he says, hi, Bradley, how do you recommend getting a service page driveways to index instead of the home page for driveway related searches. One of my sites is indexing the homepage instead of the service page when searching for those keywords. The homepage title is category, city, brand. Well, the homepage SEO title should lead with the brand name. It's the homepage of the brand. It should lead with the brand name. I'm not picking on you, Alex, just to be clear, but I mean, I've been preaching about that forever. Guys, brand authority is the most important thing in local SEO right now. Branded location authority. Number 2 is site efficiency. And if you get those 2 things right, you can have problems in a lot of the other areas and still perform very well. And one of those things that you should be doing for all sites is leading with the brand name on the homepage of the site. Like, that should be the first thing that is referenced in the SEO title. So the service page title is category brand. Well, okay, it's a single location site. I think I've done a pretty good job of in-depth content for each service page. Is there something specific that you would recommend that I do on the driveways page to get it in the SERPs for that topic? Yeah, get rid of it in the SEO title of the homepage. And again, I'm not picking on you, Alex, but what I'm saying is if you have a service page for it, then why not just make the homepage? Like if it's a, let's just for simplicity's sake and for the people that are the audience today, okay? If it's a single, let's assume it's a single service category business and it's a single location business, okay? That'll make it really easy to understand what it is I'm talking about here. But in that case, if you're going to have a service, you either make the homepage the service page, if it's a single service category business, and you're going to reference the service category in the SEO title of the homepage, then the homepage should be the service page, right? You don't want it then also a service page where it's going to compete with the homepage, which is precisely what it is that you're talking about here. Now, I don't know if it's a single service category page, or excuse me, a single service category business. It may be a multi-category business, in which case the homepage, you can use a broad kind of statement about this is what we do, right? I always talk about this is who we are, this is what we do, this is where we do it. And that's the semantic triple statement, basically an entity association statement. And you lead with the brand on the homepage, but you can have a broad kind of statement of what they do, right? That is all inclusive of the different service categories so that it's not really optimized for ranking for any one term, because really the homepage should be about the brand. It's not really about what they do, or especially if you're going to have service pages, because then you optimize the individual service category pages for the service category. Sometimes there may be subcategories, sometimes there's not. And then if you have multiple locations, so supporting location, and I don't mean multiple physical locations, but I mean multiple location pages, like supporting location pages, then you would omit having any location modifier in the service page SEO title. But if it's a single location business, then by all means, you want to include the location that you're targeting in the SEO title of the service pages, because then the service pages is the location page, because you don't have multiple location pages where you're trying to create an association between the service or a service and all of the locations it's available to. Because if you're only targeting one location, then you can and should put the location modifier in the service page title, the SEO title, okay? So in that case, what I'm saying is if you have a separate service page for driveways, then why are you targeting driveways on the homepage? Just put the company name and then where they provide their services, or use something else that's, broader that would compete with the category driveway contractor or whatever the category is. All I'm saying is you got to title the pages separately or unique enough to where they're not competing with each other. And if you have a separate service page that is competing with the homepage, and in your description of your question, you have category, city, brand, when first of all, the SEO title of the homepage should lead with the brand, then just omit the category from the homepage, right? And just so that it's going to force the relevance to be pushed to the category, or excuse me, the service page. And then remember, if it's a single location business, then you'd want to include the location here. So it would be service title or service category, separator, location, separator, brand. Then the homepage would be brand, a broad statement about what they do, and then either the location which they do it, or you can even omit that entirely again if it's a single location business. So what I'm saying, guys, is if you're trying to cover like a service area business, typically is trying to cover a large area. So whatever the location entity is or region, right? It could be a county, a metro area, a larger region that contains multiple counties, and sometimes it could be a multi-state region. All of those are location entities that are broader and have smaller location entities in them. They are contained within them. So, for example, within a county, you're going to have cities, towns, incorporated communities, unincorporated communities, census designated places, any type of local municipality. Each one of those local municipalities is a separate location entity, but it's included in a larger, broader entity, right? It's part of a larger, broader entity, which would be the county. A county is typically a part of a larger, broader entity like a region. And so if you're targeting multiple locations, so cities, towns, etc., then I always recommend on the homepage you optimize for the broadest location region that contains all of the areas that you're trying to serve, the company, the client is trying to service within their service area. So the homepage, instead of being optimized for the city, would be optimized for a county or a region or a state, depending on how broad of a service areas they have. And then that way, service pages, if it is a service area business, service pages, excuse me, would not have location modifier in the SEO title at all, because that service should be available to all of the cities and towns, etc., within the service area. So you don't want to limit that, and you don't want to have to duplicate pages for service times city for every service times every city. That's not an efficient way to build a site. So all I'm saying is I think that, for the homepage, I would really, if it's a single service category business that's targeting a single location, then if you're going to have a separate service page, then just make the homepage purely about the brand. That's it. Like the SEO title should just be the brand. And then on the service page, you can have service category, location, brand. And now it's no longer going to compete with the homepage. Okay. Hopefully that's clear. That's what I would do. And then you would also put a contextual link from the homepage to that internal page, right? Not just a navigational link, guys. You understand where links are placed on the site affects their level of influence or their significance, if that makes sense. In other words, links in navigation menus, sidebars, and footers are not weighted as heavily. They're not given as much significance as a contextual link. You can add more significance even to a contextual link by doing things like adding an H tag to the anchor text. So that, so again, there's different ways that you can add more, weight to a link, so to speak. And so that's something that again, if you change it the way that I described here and make the homepage about the brand and in the service page about service category, location, brand, and then you just have an internal link on the homepage within the content body of the page that says, that references that service name or title or category, whatever it is, then that's going to help to push the ranking currently that the homepage is ranking for over to that other page. Take both pages, the homepage and the service page that now you've optimized properly with the SEO title that's no longer competing with the homepage. Take both those page URLs, resubmit them to Search Console for indexing, right? Inspect URL, test URL, whatever. Request indexing. Do that for both of them, and then you should be able to see within a matter of a few days, couple of weeks, whatever, depending on how quick Google comes back and recrawls and reindexes those pages, you should see it shift to the service page ranking instead of the homepage. Okay. Anyway, it's a good question, and I'm not picking on you, Alex. I hope you understand that. But I see SEOs all the time still leading with keywords on the homepage. When the homepage, like in local SEO, guys, I'm telling you, brand authority is the most important thing. So you should really focus in on that as much as possible. Okay. Can you share the complete subject lines of all 5 emails in the directory outreach sequence? Yeah, if I can. Come join the mastermind. And I'll give you all the SOPs. It has all of that in there. I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you either, but I can't give away the resources and assets that are reserved for our mastermind members freely on Hump Day Hangouts. I give away a lot on Hump Day Hangouts as it is. Okay. So that's just not fair to our mastermind members for me to give everything away. So like I said, feel free to come join the mastermind, man. You can get all the SOPs and all the resources and everything. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. Like I said, it's not fair to our members. I can't give away all of our paid stuff for free. So James says, I have a site that used to rank really well for the brand with the whole front page being socials and citations, but now it's struggling. Leads have dropped off due to this. Should I add the citations again, and how can I get the brand popping off again? Well, what is it that was ranking? Like I have a site that used to rank really well for the brand with the whole front page being social citations. Well, I'm not sure I understand the question, James. I'd love to be able to help with this question. I don't think it's about listing the citations. I mean, I don't know, because there's always weird things that occur in SEO. So you could test with that by you have access to the site and you removed a bunch of socials and citations, which I'm not really sure I understand what that means either. I'm just not really fully understanding the question, but I'm assuming you mean that you just had a bunch of social links to social profiles and citations that were referenced on the homepage that are no longer there. I don't think that was it. I mean, maybe, who knows? Because there could be a number of things that cause it to not be ranking well anymore that may be coincidental that you remove those and something else occurred at the same time. And so you saw a ranking drop and you're associating, you're assuming that that's what would cause the problem. And again, I don't know. That may very well be the problem. But without analyzing the site, I can't tell. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think removing links to social profiles and citations, if that's what you meant in your question, would cause it to drop in rankings. But maybe. And there's an easy way to test that. Go re-add them, right? If you have access to the site, add them back. The social links and the citation links. If that's what you were saying, add them back and see it. Track it for a couple. Again, submit the page for re-indexing through Search Console and then track it. See, does it all of a sudden start to climb back up in the ranks? Well, then you're on to something, right? Again, my assumption is, but it's just an assumption in an SEO. If you make an assumption, well, make an ass out of yourself. You know what I mean? You have to test everything. So what I would recommend is if you have access to it, test it. But it's likely something else, in my opinion. Without testing, you won't know though. Okay. But again, if somebody if you're saying it was ranking really well for the brand, but I don't understand that. What was it ranking for? Was it ranking for a brand search or a generic keyword search or what? Because if it's ranking for a brand, if it was ranking for a brand search and now it's no longer ranking for a brand search, it's likely that there's an algorithmic penalty, if not a manual penalty applied against the domain, right? Because for a brand search, unless it is a very common name that is very similar to a lot of other brands, or the brand name is a generic search query also, right? Which we see a lot of local SEOs do it, or local companies do that, where they name their company a very generic name that is also a generic search query. And that makes it very hard to establish as an entity or as a brand for Google to distinguish it as a brand. And so what I'm saying is if you had a brand search that is no longer ranking for the brand, it's either the domain might have a penalty against it, or it's been ambiguated or polluted because it's very similar to other brand names, or a generic search query, right? And that's again going back to what I was saying earlier about branding is so important. So I don't have the full details of that question. So a lot of that is all speculation because I really have no idea specifically what the problem is, what search queries you're talking about, or anything else. So I'm just trying to give you some ideas based upon the little bit of information that I have. Hopefully that was helpful. If you can add any more detail on the next time, then I'll try to be a little bit more specific. Ziva says, do you use spin tags and email sequences for the LOG offer, review offer, or GB? No. Because those are autoresponder emails. That's different. It's not the same as cold email, right? Remember, an autoresponder email is to somebody that has already interacted with us. They don't get plugged into any sequences for sales sequences, nurture sequences until after they have already engaged with us, meaning they've replied to our cold email outreach. And then now we have a communication history with them. And then through that process, we then identify through communicating with them, we identify which offers are most relevant to them. Then we get on the listing delivery call, which is the start of the sales conversation. We have a chat with them. We introduce the problems that we identified. We present them with the solutions. They can choose to accept, to close or not. And if they don't, then they get plugged into the nurture sequences. That's after multiple communications back and forth through the emails, the email, the email account, excuse me, that's integrated with high level. So there's no reason to use spin tax in these emails. In cold email, there's a reason to use spin tax because you're sending out hundreds, thousands of emails to cold contacts that you've never had contact with before. And so you don't want the ESPs, the service provider, email service providers, to see patterns, and that's why we try to reduce that by using spin tax, etc. And then also, if you're sending out a lot of emails that you don't get replies back from, that's also a flag, especially if it's the same content. Again, but when you're sending out emails to somebody that's already that you already had communication with, the email service providers know that, and so it's you don't have the deliverability issues and everything else. You're not going to burn a domain. And remember, we always have the unsubscribe link, so it's not spammy if they're on the sequence until they click the unsubscribe button, and as soon as they do, they won't receive any more emails from that sequence. If that makes sense. By the way, the unsubscribe link that I put in each of those sequence is a sequence specific unsubscribe link. It's not a unsubscribe from all link. So she sells like a pro says, when I add schema markup to my GHL pages and then test it, it says no items found. Then when I test the schema code itself, rather than the page link, it says it's valid. Any ideas what I could be doing wrong? I place it in the header tracker area of GHL. Well, I can demonstrate where it is. I'll pause the screen real quick and get into one of my sites, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And it does work. So, and I'll prove it unless something changed, which is always possible. All right, so here we are. This is Albemarle Felling Pro. This is just one of my Felling Pro sites. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to look here. And we're going to go view this homepage. You can even just, because it's showing the home slug, but you'll see that I've got a canonical there that points to the root domain without a slug for home. So I'm just going to click on that, go to that page URL. And we're going to go over to Schema Markup Validator. We're going to take the home page. We can look at the location landing page too, which is going to be the Albemarle, or excuse me, Charlottesville page. And you can see that there's schema here. Okay. I'll show you where that schema is. Guys, this is the home page, high level site. Okay. Corporation schema right here. Right. Let me show you where that is. We're going to go into edit the page. You do this on a page by page basis, by the way. So you go in and you're going to click on SEO, or excuse me, head tracking, the tracking code right there. Right there's that corporation schema that you guys are seeing right here. Okay. It's the exact same schema. The code, if we click right here, that's this code right here that we're looking at. It's the exact same code. Okay. So it works. Remember, there's some caching because everything goes through Cloudflare when you're using high level sites. And so it may be that you were just looking at it too quickly. I don't know, but or maybe you put it in the wrong place, but it does absolutely work. Let's just change pages real quick, and we're going to go to the Charlottesville, which is the location landing page. And I'll show you again. Let's go click on that. We're going to click on Charlottesville, copy the URL, go back over to the schema validator, run new test, paste it in, click run test, and you're going to see home and construction business schema on this page. Very thorough home and construction business schema, right? Okay, so go back to the page builder. We're looking at the Charlottesville page now. Head tracking code right there, home and construction business schema. So it absolutely works. I'm not sure why you're having problems, but make sure that you're in the header tracking section of each page, paste it in, make sure that you click save and publish, or just publish. If you click publish, it's automatically going to save it, but make sure you click save and publish, because sometimes I know I've had support requests come in from our high-level users from the DHA program and say, I'm not seeing any of the changes on my website. And then I get on a support call with them and they never click the publish button. They've clicked save, but not publish. So make sure you're doing that too. Okay, but it does work. So, and if it doesn't, if you still have problems, contact high-level support. They'll help you out. That's what they're there for. Okay, next one. We're almost done, and we're just about out of time too. Oh yeah, by the way, I meant to say this at the beginning, and I'm so sorry I didn't get to this at the beginning. If there's anybody still on that wants to check it out, this is a really cool service from one of our mastermind members, Dave. who created this Help an SEO Out, which is like remember, if you guys are familiar with Help a Reporter Out, Haro, right? Which are basically you go in, you sign up for an account, you go in and you say that you're a subject matter expert or that you want to be reached out, like you want to be contacted if any reporter, news outlet, whatever, wants to interview an expert, a subject matter expert, or whatever. You can go in and list what you want to comment on, etc. And then basically you can get alerts for when there are journalists and things like that are looking for people to comment on an article that they're writing on or whatever, what topic, subject, whatever. And it gives you the opportunity to then get, a link from these by getting referenced within certain articles and things like that. Well, he wanted to take the same Dave did to create a platform for other SEOs to help to do link exchanges. You guys know I've been talking about links with topical relevance and geographic relevance, right? Links with topical relevance influence organic ranking mostly, but links with geographic relevance influence maps ranking mostly. And getting links from other local businesses in the same general area is absolutely fabulous for SEO, for local SEO. It works so well. And that's why we have a geographic link service at Semantic Links that is where we go out and hunt down expired domains that have backlinks pointing to them from local businesses in a particular area. And once we identify those domains and verify that there are local backlinks pointing to them, we buy them, we populate them with content in the same topical category as whatever it was before. And then we sell links on those sites by doing basically an NAP insertion. So a citation, name, address, phone number, website, a brief blurb with has the anchor text links and a map embed. And we put all of that, we just insert that as a block quote into an existing post on a site so that we can push some of the link equity that's coming from local sources from that domain over to our client site that's in the same general physical area, right? And so we're pushing geographic link equity from other local businesses through a site that we built for link building purposes that then passes some of that over to the geographic relevance to our client. But a better way is to get links from other local business sites and actual organizations, institutions, businesses, etc. And so this is a service that right now it's free. So I'd encourage you guys to go check it out. Click on I've got an account. Just so you know, like I'll click in and view dashboard and you'll see what I'm talking about. But right now it's free. And Dave asked me if I would promote this on Hump Day Hangouts. And I apologize, we had Mike come on which I was forgot that he was coming on until right at the start. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to promote this for him. There's no cost to this, guys. Go sign up for Help an SEO Out. But basically what you do is go in and then you go in and submit websites, not like it doesn't display the sites. You just go in and say, I've got a site that I'm going to offer a link opportunity on. It's in this topical category, and I will accept linking to these other topical or these other types of or other categories, essentially. So then once you post that, then the link opportunity will then be sent out to the other members that are in the group. And they'll get an alert that says, hey, there's a new link opportunity available that's in this particular topical category. And it will allow links to any of these other topical categories. If anybody's interested, reach out. And it then sends, if somebody takes up on it, then it sends the notification to whoever, to me, who's posted the link opportunity, that there's somebody willing to do a link exchange with me. That makes sense. And so anyways, it's a very cool system. And right now it's free because he's trying to get inventory, a lot of link opportunities in there before he starts charging people for usage of the platform. So I would encourage you guys to go check it out. It's called helpinseoout.com. Again, helpinseoout.com. Go check it out. Okay. We'll bring that up again next week as well. All right, the last thing is, this was just a question from YouTube, or it was actually a comment from YouTube about the secret to boosting your GBP rankings fast. The video was about posting articles, or excuse me, not articles, photos. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to grab this very quickly. Go over to this. We're almost done, guys, I promise. All right, the secret to boosting your GBP rankings fast. What I was talking about in this clip from a Hump Day Hangout was taking photos or having the employees of the business, excuse me, especially for service area businesses, if a local business trains their employees, their technicians, support staff, personnel, whatever, that when they're out in the field, they take photos on every job, or videos or both, with, with their mobile device, there's going to be geographic metadata in those files that corroborate or validate what the business does and where they do it. Because if they take photos like for a tree service contractor on every tree job that they go on, then now they've got photographic evidence that Google understands from the photos exactly what's being done, right? And then the geographic metadata, which is embedded in the metadata, the metadata of the file, which shows where the photo was taken, what time it was taken. There's all kinds of really rich data that is collected in those phones and in the metadata of those files now, videos and images. Okay. And so when uploading those directly to the Google Maps listing or profile, you don't have to do it as a manager. Anybody can do it, right? I can go to anybody's website right now. Let's see if we can see if there was a anybody. Let's just pick somebody. Let's just say Tree Service, Pikeville, Kentucky. As a matter of fact, we'll just go there. Click into Maps. I don't know who this person is, but you see how we can go. Sorry, let's go into Maps. I meant to go into Maps. Where is Maps? Let's do it here. Anybody can do this, right? So I can click on this. I have no idea who this company is, but I can click on there and I can scroll right down here to add photos and videos. So that's all that needs to be done, right? If a service area business takes photos on the job sites consistently and regularly, and then they upload photos, the technicians can do this. The employees can do this either on the job site or when they get back in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. All they got to do is go to the Google Maps listing, click add photos, and upload those photos. That trains Google. It proves to Google that the business does what they say they do and where they claim that they do it, because now they have photographic evidence that supports and validates how the GBP was optimized. And if you do that consistently and regularly, that has a significant influence on GBP performance. I know because only about 1 out of every 10 tree guys ever does that I've taught that to. But the ones that do, they typically end up canceling SEO services with me some point in the future, because they end up just dominating their area, because they develop the habit of doing that. And they do it over and over and over again to where they have more evidence that supports what they do than any of the other GBPs out there. I'm not kidding. And I've had a number of, so it's like, well, why would you tell clients to do that then? Because our goal is to help them to get the best results. Seriously. Right. And so I'm not going to not tell them to do that. Only 1 in 10 does it anyways. You know what I mean? So the question was, is this still valid? Yes, absolutely. It's still valid, because that's not something that could be manipulated or gamed very easily. You understand? That's why that's so valid. That's why it's such a powerful signal. Because again, it's just uploading photographic evidence that has geographic metadata embedded into the files that supports or validates how the GBP is optimized, how the business claimed what they do and where they do it. This now supports that. So it makes sense. It validates it. So it absolutely works. It works very, very well. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap up. I see some comments, so I'm going to try to roll through a few of them.
Yeah, we just had a couple in there.
Let's see. Good way to test markets fast. Alex said, yeah, that was, I'm assuming you're talking about the magic page, or the done for you, it seems. It's awesome, by the way. So, after it's populated, yes. Trains of thought. How much do you prioritize having supplemental content under each service listing, linking up to their service? Supplemental content under each service linking up to the service. Are you talking about like supporting service pages? I don't recommend that unless it's needed, because then you could end up creating competing pages if you're not careful. Like, seriously, that's the whole thing. What I talk about, like, again, so how do you know if it's needed? Well, if you have a top level service category and the page is optimized for a service category, and then there are supporting services, so more specific services that fall under that service category, make each one of those services H2s on the page. Headings, guys, you understand? H2s are headings, right? H1 is a title, page or post title. H2s are headings. Subheadings are H3s, 4s, 5s, etc. So make the supporting services more specific services that fall under a broader service category as H2s on the page. Try optimizing with just the one service page first and initially, and see how does it perform? How does it perform for the more specific service search queries? If you can get that to rank for that with under one page, then keep it on one page. But if you have problems, or if some of the supporting services rank well with that one page format and some don't, then take the ones that are not ranking as well and then make supporting content that's nested as a child page or as a post placed in that category, depending on how you have the site structured, underneath that top level service category page, right? So it would be basically a child page of that page. Then you would have an internal link from the top level page linking down to the supporting page, and you'd have another link from the supporting page linking back up to the top level page. But you got to make sure that they are titled properly so that they're not competing. Okay. And then that way, again, try to do less first, right? Try to minimum amount of work to achieve the result. So try everything with one page for a service category in the SEO title, a variant of the service category in the H1, and then the supporting services as H2s. And then see how it ranks for all the supporting services. And then what you do is, like I said, any of the supporting services that are not performing well, break those out as the separate supporting content that you make as a child page of the parent page. But make sure that they're titled properly. It's titled to where it's not going to compete. The supporting page is not going to compete with the top level service category page. Okay. Whose emphasis do we have actual clients for HASO or LLG sites to work? Yeah, they should be client sites. I'm not submitting my LOG sites. These HASO or help with an SEO out should be real local business sites, guys, not lead gen sites and things like that. That's not the point. The point is to have real valid local business type sites in there that you do link exchanges with. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I think I answered your question. Trains of thought. I think so. Hopefully that made sense. You guys have any additional questions? We'll always be here next week. Appreciate Mike being on. Thanks everybody for checking it out. Go check out Mike's new tool. Also get signed up for helping SEO out. If you have local business clients, I think it's a great opportunity to do some link exchanges. It doesn't cost anything. It's a great opportunity, guys, and it really does work. It helps a lot. So thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.